Alrighty, guys. So yesterday was week 11 games. So we wanted to go ahead and jump into my top 25 after another exciting week of college football. So let's get started right now. Number 25 is going to be NC State. I got Texas at 24 after the loss to TCU at home. Game day was there. It was an electric atmosphere, but could not get it done against the Horned Frogs. 23, I've got Cincinnati. At 22, I've got Illinois. Brett Bielema's team takes another loss yesterday against the Boilermakers. And then at 21, I've got Tulane, who also took a loss yesterday. They were in the driver's seat pretty much for their division, but yesterday kind of puts that in a little bit of question. At 20, I've got Florida State. At 19, I've got Notre Dame after their win yesterday. 18, Kansas State, another big winner from yesterday's games. 17, UCF with a strong showing in their game. 16, UW, Washington takes down Oregon and Bo Nix in that heated rivalry game. UW picks up the victory over Oregon yesterday. 15, I've got UCLA. At 14, I've got UNC. Mac Brown's team is doing pretty good. They've only got one loss on the season. Looking pretty good in the ACC. 13, I've got Penn State. At 12, I've got Ole Miss, who took a loss to Alabama at home yesterday. But it was a one-score loss. It was only a 6-point loss, and they did have an opportunity to at least tie it up and then win it pending an extra point, but could not get it done late in the game yesterday. At 11, Oregon, I dropped them with that loss to UW. At 10, I've got Utah. 9, Clemson. I think they're an underachieving team. I think there's talent there, but they are not playing to it. 8, I've got Alabama, who yet again seemed to be in a game that was one score, and it could have went their way, could have not went their way. That seemed like the Texas game where they won with the 1-point victory. They've lost a couple of those games on the last-second field goal at Tennessee, and then the 2-point conversion by LSU. That's their losses. But it feels like they're just not dominating anybody this particular season. So it's kind of interesting to see out of Nick Saban's team, another a one-score game. They're playing them close. It seems like right now they have the edge in those games with it going 3-2. 3 wins and 1 score, and then the 2 losses on last-second plays. 7, I've got LSU, who pulled out victory. A very sloppy game yesterday. I think it was a little bit of a hangover from the Alabama game last week, but they did get it done against Arkansas, but it wasn't only a 3-point win. So 6, I've got USC, who took care of business. 5, I've got Tennessee, who kind of ran it up on Missouri. I think they thought they were going to impress the committee or anything going down the stretch, but it kind of gave a bad taste in many of people's mouths to run it up on Missouri, especially late in the game by the last touchdown. It just wasn't a good look for Heupel's team, and there is a little bit of sportsmanship in the game, and they didn't show that yesterday. But they still showed that the offense can throw 66 on a defense that held Georgia to 26. So at 4, I've got TCU. They showed some real grit in a very, very tough defensive battle in Austin yesterday, but did come out. So the Horned Frogs are 10-0 on the season, looking great. 3, I've got Michigan, took care of business. That team just goes in, does what they need to do, and walks out. At 2, I've got Ohio State, who again had a blowout victory yesterday. Herb Street kind of got on them in College Game Day with anytime they play somebody with a pulse, they struggle. So that was a brutal quote from old Herb Street. No, I'm sorry, that was Desmond. Desmond said that. Desmond Howard had that comment that if they play somebody with a pulse, that they struggle. So that Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is still very alive with Desmond Howard. And at number 1, I've got Georgia. I was at the game at Mississippi State. I cannot hear because of the cowbells, but it was a great environment. Everybody there was super nice. It was very welcoming. Loved that stadium. It was the first time I got to go. But the Bulldogs of Georgia handled Mississippi State pretty well in the second half. A couple of coaching decisions right before the half made the game a little bit closer than it needed to be, but the defense only allowed 1 touchdown, got 2 fourth down stops late in the game to not allow them to score again, even with the game in hand. And Ladd McConkey still just looks like he has separated himself from the rest of Georgia's receivers. And the 2 tight ends, Bowers and Darnell Washington, absolutely showed up yesterday, which was great. Stetson Bennett had 4 touchdowns on the day, and it was frigid cold. It was about 34 degrees in the second half last night. So they can do it in the cold a little bit. I'm not sure about snow or anything, but the running game wasn't as dominant. McConkey took 1 on a end around for 70 yards. The run game did not get going as much as I'm sure Georgia fans are used to seeing, but the passing game was definitely there. Took care of State. They win the East, and LSU clinched in the West, so it is set for the SEC championship game. It will be the Bayou Bengals versus the University of Georgia Bulldogs in Atlanta for the SEC title, and I'm sure a spot in the college football playoff. So, all right, guys, that is it. Y'all enjoy the week. Smash that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you like this video. Let me know how I did in my ranking, what you agree with, what you don't agree with in the rankings here, and just let me know what else you guys would like to see. Enjoy college football. We've only got a couple more Saturdays of it, and I sure do enjoy it. So hope you guys do too, and we'll see you next week. Go Dogs.